There is one thing I can say has helped me with my hair journey in growing a healthy, long, and full natural hair. Coupled with the right routine, it is incorporating herbs and spices to my hair care regimen. In this video, I'll be sharing with you one of my all-time favorite hair oil recipes that is packed with beneficial and amazing benefits that will help grow your hair healthier, fuller, and longer while tackling issues like hair loss, breakage, loss of edges, and all that. For this recipe, our first ingredient is moringa. Moringa is packed with vital vitamins, minerals, and compounds that work together to nourish the hair follicles and strengthen strands. It promotes hair growth, prevents hair loss, breakage, and thinning. It also improves scalp health and delays premature graying of the hair. Our second ingredient is cloves. Cloves stimulates and promotes healthy hair growth. It prevents hair loss, hair breakage, hair thinning. They also contain antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, and antifungal properties, which fight against dandruff. It also adds a healthy shine to the hair. Now, our next ingredient is the hibiscus. Hibiscus nourishes and promotes hair growth. It reduces hair loss, thinning, excessive shedding, and breakage. It also increases volume, strengthens hair follicles while restoring elasticity. Now, I made use of 1 tablespoon of my cloves, and I also used about 6 petals of my hibiscus. Now, the next thing I proceeded to do after this is to blend. Now, you can choose not to blend, it's totally dependent on you. Now, this is what I have after blending. I am now going to proceed. Now, for this recipe, I'm going to be making use of 1 tablespoon of my moringa. After measuring out my moringa, I proceeded to add my blended cloves and my blended hibiscus. Okay, like I said, you can choose not to blend. I just prefer to blend. I really just prefer to blend. No big deal. I also recommend blending. But if you don't have a blender, you can just go ahead with that. Okay, so once I was done with that, the next thing I'm going to be adding is my carrier oils. The first carrier oil for this recipe is going to be my olive oil. Olive oil is rich in vitamin A and E. It helps to strengthen hair strands, improve elasticity, reduce breakage, and also softens and deeply moisturizes the hair. It also soothes and nourishes the scalp. Now, I made use of a half cup of my olive oil plus another half of my half cup. I don't know if you understand that, but if you watch the video clearly, you're going to see that. The next oil I'm going to be making use of is my coconut oil. Coconut oil deeply moisturizes the hair, prevents protein loss in hair, nourishes dry and damaged hair. It also helps to restore softness and elasticity to the hair. Now, I made use of half of an half cup because I was short of oils, okay? I was short of my coconut oil. So if you have more oils, you can go ahead and use more. It also depends on the quantity you're aiming to achieve. I say this always, okay? If you have more, go ahead and use more. Now, this is only oils I'll be using. If you have more oils, go ahead and use that. Okay, or if you have just one of the oils I use, you can also use that as well. So I gave this a quick mix. I gave this a thorough mix just to stir it up. And then the next thing I did was just to cover and let it sit on the countertop for a couple of days. Now, if you do not have much time, you can just go ahead and double boil this and proceed to use it. But I always prefer to store for a while because the longer you let it infuse, the more potent it becomes. Okay, the longer you store it, the more it infuses, and the more it infuses, the more potent it is. Now, after some days, this is what I have. You can see that the ingredients are fully settled at the bottom and the oil is just on the top. Now, what I'm going to do now is to stir it up just to get everything to fully come up and mix and marry together again before I proceed to the next step. Now for this next step, you just to extract the oil, just to separate the oil from the chaff, you need just the oil, right? Now I am making use of the cheesecloth. You can go ahead and use whatever it is you use to sieve or to extract. It could be a wig cap, it could be a stockings or handkerchief or even a sieve. To find it has tiny holes that will not allow for easy passage of your chaff. The next thing I did was just to take a spoon to scoop out the sides of my meat so that my oil can pass freely. And you can also do this by squeezing it really hard with your hands. But I was just not in the mood to squeeze. I just used my spoon to do it. And it also got the job done. Now, this was the chaff I was able to get out. Now, for further use, you can also make use of your chaff. You can like transfer it back to the initial jar, add more oils and let it infuse for a longer period of time. You can use this for your butters, for your oils or whatnot, or you can just go ahead and discard your chaff, whatever works for you. Now I'm also going to supplementing this with some other oils, and the first one is my Chebe oil. Chebe oil reduces breakage, locks in moisture, improves thickness and fullness, support length retention, and also soothes the scalp. Now I used about 1 tablespoon of my Chebe oil. I also made use of my tea tree essential oil. Tea tree oil fights against dandruff, lice, itchiness, flakiness. It also reduces hair fall, cleansing the scalp of dead skin cells. Now I use about 10 to 15 drops of my tea tree oil. The next oil I made use of was my peppermint oil. It improves blood circulation on the scalp, stimulating hair follicles to grow longer and thicker hair. It also helps to fight against itchiness, dandruff, and also hair lice. I added half of a cover cap of my peppermint oil, give everything a good stir so everything can mix well. Now the next thing to do is just to transfer to my applicator bottle, and I'm going to be making use of this precision applicator bottle. After transferring to my applicator bottle, the next thing I like to do is to add some rosemary. Now, rosemary is loaded with vitamin B6, iron, calcium, which promotes blood circulation in the scalp, stimulates hair follicles, and promotes hair growth, strength, and thickness. Now, I added about 2 pinches of my rosemary. Now, I'm going to just let it sit and infuse with the oil. I'm not going to sieve it out. I'm not going to take it out at any point. It's just going to be there with the oil and infuse, right? You can also choose to add your rosemary at the beginning of the recipe, or you can choose to do it this way. Whatever you decide to do is totally up to you, but I really love to let it sit and infuse with my oil. So guys, for the application, I'm going to be using this to seal in the moisture in my hair. Now my hair is already well hydrated and moisturized with water and leave-in conditioner. Now I am going to be using this to seal in the moisture in my hair, and at the same time also oiling my scalp. Now the first thing I do is to apply this oil well and all over into my strands, making sure you go to every part of my strand, from the tips of my hair down to the root of my hair, not leaving anywhere out. Now, this is going to help seal in the moisture that I've gotten from my water and my leave-in conditioner. It's going to help moisture retention and at the same time length retention. I'm always going to advise you properly sealing the moisture in your hair. This is going to help make sure the moisture stays for a longer period of time and your hair doesn't get dried out easily. Because we all know dryness is one of the leading causes of breakage and some other hair damages. So I make sure I seal in the moisture in every part of my hair. I repeated the same process for all parts of my hair. And once I was done with this, the next thing I'm going to do is just to oil my scalp. It's very important you oil your scalp because the foundation of a healthy hair growth is the scalp. Now, you don't just oil your scalp and just go about your day, you oil and you massage. Now, this is where the magic lies. Massaging your scalp is going to improve the blood circulation in your scalp. It's going to stimulate and promote your hair follicles to grow longer and thicker hair. Now I'm going to be making use of this scalp massager. You can also make use of your fingers. It's all going to do the work. But I really love this scalp massager, and I'm always going to recommend this scalp massager. So you guys, for a total breakdown, this oil is going to help sealing moisture, preventing dryness. It is also going to promote hair growth, strength and thickness. This oil is loaded with amazing and beneficial nutrients that will improve scalp health, reduce hair loss, Thinning and breakage prevents premature graying of the hair while tackling some scalp issues as well. You can use this for 2 to 3 times weekly and your hair will surely thank you for it. Now that will be all that for this video. I hope you guys really found this video really helpful. Please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down there in the comment section, share to people you also think might need this video, subscribe to me if you've not subscribed already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.